Hi, my name's John, and today we're going to talk about the swing pattern. In jazz music, the swing pattern is the main demarcator of time, whereas in rock music, we're dealing with the backbeat. In jazz, we deal with the right hand and the ride cymbal. So I want to kind of show you a couple things to kind of get you started on playing swing. So swing is based on the triplet. It goes like this: one triplet, two triplet, three triplet, four triplet, one triplet. You can kind of hear there, I'm playing the first and second partial of beat 2. So it goes like 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. So you can also vocalize it as like ding, ding, da ding, or spang, spang, a lang, which is important too because that helps you kind of get a better sense of the feeling of the music. So now I'm going to kind of demonstrate a little bit so you can kind of hear the swing pattern. Now, if you're coming from a rock background, you might take, like, say, a blues shuffle. And if you lop off the and of 1 and the and of 3, then you get the swing pattern. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. So once you practice that for a while and that gets more comfortable, what you can add now is the hi-hat on 2 and 4. So like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now the hi-hat in 2 and 4, you don't always have to play that, but it's a good place to start with the swing pattern. A lot of people expect that and kind of hear that and are listening for that when you're playing time. The other thing you can do kind of with your foot when you're playing this pattern is called feathering the bass drum. So feathering the bass drum is, at these tempos, it would be a quarter note, so you're going to play really lightly. And you want to make sure it's like you can't even hear it. So it's a little tricky, but it helps fatten the quarter note and gives your time a little bit more solid feel. So now I'm going to feather the bass drum while playing time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Another thing you can start to do once you become more comfortable with that, and this is where it kind of becomes more of your own thing and expressing yourself, is what we can do is called breaking up the time. So a lot of the masters, really, they can even just take a quarter note and make it swing. So like this. So if you can do that, man, that's the hip stuff. But what we can do, we can take this sort of quarter note bass and we can add eighth notes in different places. So for example, a common rhythm, what you can do is you can do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm also going to just kind of improvise a bit and do different things with the ride cymbal pattern. See what you can kind of pick out, especially starting with this quarter note bass and then going to adding eighth notes in different spots. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Some of the guys to check out that are real masters of doing this, breaking up the time, are guys like Elvin Jones, Jack DeJohnette, and Roy Haynes. I think it's important, especially with this music, because it's a folkloric music, that you listen to players that resonate with you and check out what they're doing and try and kind of pick up what you can and then take it and try and put it into your own vocabulary and your own personal self-expression. Now, one thing to be cautious of when you're breaking up the time is make sure you're listening to the band and seeing kind of how they're reacting to it, and make sure that what you're doing is not overcrowding the music, but is complementing and help lift up the soloist. Because this is a listening art, and listening is pretty much 90% of this music.